Hey there. Welcome to Freedom by Design. Anywhere is possible through e-commerce. This is a Listing Studios podcast where we're going to flip the script on what work and freedom can look like. Have you ever dreamt of building a business that lets you do life your way? Whether it's traveling the world, spending more time with your people, or even saying goodbye to that boss of yours, then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Tina, global entrepreneur, e-commerce enthusiast, and your guide to turning your dreams into a reality that works for you. Here, we're diving into creative strategies, real-world tips, and share stories that will inspire you. So go grab a coffee or wine. I'm not judging. Let's get comfy and let's talk about how to design a business and a life that you're obsessed with. Let's get started. Oh my gosh. Welcome back, everybody. Today, I want to share a personal and transformative journey with you. It's one that's shaped who I am, how I see the world, and how I've chosen to live my life. Today, we're going to talk about my 50 by 50 journey. It's a goal that I set for myself to visit 50 unique countries before I turn 50. Last year, it dawned on me, holy crap, Tina, you're turning 50 next year. And I could have either be miserable or embrace it. So of course I was going to embrace it and have fun while I'm aging. But how? So then I'm like, okay, well, duh, travel. So that's when I set the theme 50 by 50. At this point, I had visited maybe around 30 or something countries. So I had a lofty goal in front of me. This journey, though, it became so much more than checking countries off a list. It's about embracing life, overcoming setbacks, and creating a foundation that lets me pursue my passions while living in alignment with what truly matters to me. Let me take you back to a moment that changed everything for me. It was Thanksgiving morning in 2014. I woke up to find my late husband, Simon, he passed away in his sleep. And while his death wasn't a complete shock, it shook me to my core. At that moment, it wasn't just about losing him. I realized along the way that I'd lost parts of myself as well. Suddenly, I was questioning everything, like who I was, what I wanted, and how I wanted to live the rest of my life. Traveling then, it was my way of healing. It helped me reconnect with myself and discover my strength in ways that I never expected. Most recently, I took one of the biggest challenges yet, hiking the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. It was physically and mentally exhausting, but wow, what an experience. I have to say, I underestimated it. There were moments when I felt like I couldn't go on. There were moments where I was just cursing myself as I was just walking and reflecting along the way. But reaching the Sun Gate and seeing Machu Picchu for the first time, it filled me with this profound sense of accomplishment and awe. And it really, truly pushed my limits. And it reminded me that I am capable of so much more than I give myself credit for. A few days later, I took an ATV up to Rainbow Mountain. And can I just say, wow. What was even more special was how I felt. It was this overwhelming connection to my dad, who's who since passed. Standing there and seeing the colors of the mountain and the glimmer of the sun hitting random spots, I could truly feel his presence, and it was so strong. It was like as if he was there, just encouraging me to keep going and embracing this beauty of life. Those are the moments that helped me process my emotions and rediscover my inner strengths in ways that I never thought possible. With every new country, every new culture, I found myself evolving. I realized how big and beautiful the world is. And it gave me this renewed appreciation for life and all of its possibilities. Fast forward to now, traveling has remained a constant passion in my life. It's not a coping mechanism anymore. It's really now my way of living. I am so incredibly grateful to have built a foundation that allows me to do it while I'm also building my business. Listing Studios, it's not a multi-million dollar company, not even close. When Listing Studios was transferred to me last year, I initially didn't want it. I was about to let my emotions get the best of me, but then I saw its potential. Owning Listing Studios did not come with its drama, but I'm kind of past that, almost. But owning Listing Studios has been both a blessing and a challenge. It's still in its infancy. It's still trying to figure out what it wants to be when it grows up. And that is to be a multi-million dollar company, of course. I realized when I said yes that I'll take over the company. I knew at that time that it had legs. Okay. But now it's my job to give it wings to fly. Every project that we take on, every process that we've refined, every success that we achieved it's a step forward to making that vision a reality. The foundation that I'm laying today, it's setting it up to become the business that I want it to be in the next 3 to 5 years. That's probably when Steve and I are going to retire. Maybe we'll see what happens. But speaking of Steve, I have to give him so much credit. Not only has he been my rock, but he's also made so many of these travels possible. His support, both emotionally and financially, has been a blessing. Together, we've been able to explore the world while dreaming about what the future could look like. One thing that I've learned is that you can't wait for the perfect time to start building your dream. I remember this is when Steve and I first met, and I decided he was traveling through Asia at this time. And I decided, while out with my girlfriend getting drunk, I bought a plane ticket to go visit Steve in Thailand. And I remember sitting on that plane, nervous and excited to meet him for the very first time in person. That's right. I'm flying halfway around the world to meet some guy I met on Facebook. Okay, well, we were both introduced by a mutual acquaintance, but still, it felt like such a leap of faith. I mean, traveling around the world, not knowing how things would turn out. Sitting there, just looking outside the window, I realized, though, at that moment, how unpredictable life is and how taking risks can lead to the most meaningful and beautiful experiences. That moment gave me the courage to start embracing the messiness of life and make moves, even if they weren't perfect. If I had waited for the stars to align, I wouldn't be where I am today. The time to start is now. Whether it's your business, your dream lifestyle, or a personal goal, laying the groundwork today means that you'll be ready when that next season of life begins. Before I wrap up, I want to share with you my top 10 travel destinations, and they're in no particular order of importance or meaning. But let me start with Laos. This is where I was born. This is where my roots are. Going back to Laos every time, it always gets me emotional and it grounds me. It's a place that will always hold a special place in my heart. Thailand. Wow. I mean, I love the food, the climate, the cost of living. Plus, being able to speak and understand the language, it makes it feel like a second home. Portugal. I've been there twice. And if I was to retire in Europe, this is where I would retire. The charm, the food, the landscape. Oh my God, the people, it's unmatched. Norway. Zara and I road trip there last year, and wow, the natural beauty of this country is so breathtaking. It's like every corner feels like a postcard. This country, Norway, is definitely a must return to country for me. Vietnam, the food, the culture, the people. Vietnam has such a vibrant energy and a rich history that I just can't get enough of. I've gone twice and I would go back again in a heartbeat. Croatia. Wow. I've also visited Croatia twice. The coastline, the history, the warmth of the locals, it's just one of my favorites. Peru. Experiencing Machu Picchu and Rainbow Mountain, they were life-changing moments for me. This too is also on my list of returns because I could not get enough of Peru the first time. Montenegro. What an incredible hidden gem. Back in 2022, my best friend Mimi and I, we added this to our travel list. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. She, me, Steve, we took a road trip through the most breathtaking landscapes. And it's still, for me, one of those trips where I just look back on and I just smile. Czech Republic. Prague left me in awe. The architecture, the history, it just made it feel like I stepped into this storybook. I was definitely surprised by how beautiful it was. Myanmar. The culture and spirituality, it's truly one of a kind. What made it really unforgettable for me, though, was the 3-day trek that Steve and I did together. This was, I think, 2017. With the help of a guide, we stayed in local homes along the way, truly immersing ourselves in their way of life. And this was my first time to be introduced to squat toilets. Definitely an adventure that I will never forget. So here I am on the cusp of completing my 50 by 50 goal. By May 1st, I'll have visited 50 unique countries. This journey has been about so much more than travel. It's about resilience, growth, and building a life that aligns with my passions and my values. If there's one takeaway from today's episode, it's this. Don't wait. When I first started in e-commerce, owning my own brand, I had no idea where it would lead me. Every little thing, every little decision that I made along the way, they were like bricks, not just paving the road to where I am today, but building the foundation for what I want my life to be years from now. My 50 by 50 journey is a reflection of that mindset. Even when things felt overwhelming, it allowed me to at least lay those bricks one by one, turning big dreams into achievable goals. So start building your foundation now so that when you're ready for that next chapter to begin, you'll be ready to fully embrace it and achieve what once felt impossible. Thank you so much for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe and leave a review. I'll see you in the next episode of Freedom by Design, anywhere is possible through e-commerce. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you're feeling inspired and you're ready to take the next step towards building a business and a life that truly excites you. If you loved this episode, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who could use a little extra motivation today. Don't forget to connect with me on social media or check out our website at listingstudios.com. Check out the resources mentioned in this episode and you'll find all the details in the show notes. Until next time, keep dreaming big, taking action, and designing the life that you deserve. Remember, anywhere is possible through e-commerce. I'll catch you in the next episode.